Und damit hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einem neuen Video auf diesem Kanal. Und zwar reagieren Lisa und ich heute gemeinsam auf den Anniversary Broadcast von den DbD-Entwicklern zum 7. Geburtstag.
Es ist endlich soweit, oh mein Gott. Ja, wir wollten ihn eigentlich schon viel früher gucken, aber wir hatten beide keine Zeit. Und wir haben uns auch nicht spoilern lassen. Ist alles ganz neu. Gut, ich weiß nicht.
Ich weiß ja nicht, wollen wir erstmal sagen, was wir vielleicht erwarten würden?
Naja, also das. Ich erwarte nicht mehr viel.
DbD-Schauspiel, ciao.
Ja.
Ich erwarte, wie gesagt, seit Jahr 3 mittlerweile neuen Spielmodus. Hardcore 8 gegen 2. Bin ich von Anfang an für.
Ja, das ist nice. Das gab's ja früher mal, oder?
Ja, da gab es einen Bug am Anfang. Und was ich auf jeden Fall noch erwarte, Infos zum Kinofilm.
Oh ja, okay. Ja, ich weiß halt nicht richtig, was ich erwarte. Also ich hoffe halt, dass sie das nochmal richtig aufpeppen, das Spiel. Oder dass sie halt Maps überarbeiten, sowie, ja, was können wir denn überarbeiten? Es gibt Haufen Maps eigentlich teilweise, den Sumpf zum Beispiel. Ich finde den Sumpf, ja, scheiße. Also, weiß ich nicht. Nein, ich weiß nicht, es gibt halt immer diese Pro und Kontras, aber ich hab so einen Broadcast auch noch nicht geguckt von DbD. Das ist das erste Mal, dass ich gucke. Ich weiß gar nicht richtig, was auf uns zukommt. Wir haben jetzt auch schon ein bisschen vorgespult, weil die ersten 29 Minuten halt
Warten sind.
Ja.
Da steht aber bloß Stream starts in 29 Minutes.
Ja, genau, deswegen.
Genau.
Ich würde sagen, wir gehen einfach rein, oder?
Ja, starten sehr gerne.
Okay.
Let's go!
Warte, wenn es stehen würde?
Jetzt geht's los. Oh mein Gott, ich bin so excited.
Oh, der Haken, oh mein Gott.
Das sieht nicht cool aus. Wir haben zu danken. Ohne Scheiß. Hype Train, let's go! Ich bin so excited.
Alter, ja.
Hello, good people of the fog. Welcome once again to Dead by Daylight's anniversary. 7 years later. So having been here from the start, it's kind of special, and I'm extremely proud to be here once more to celebrate this momentous occasion with all of you. We have quite a lot of really thrilling things to, show you for the next year and beyond. We're going to talk about quite a lot of them today. To tell you all about it, I'd like to introduce you to my friend Eric here.
Ganz kurz, darf ich mal anmerken, wie geil ich das finde, dass im Hintergrund übelst viele Bilder von den Killern sind? Ich weiß nicht, ob das... Das sieht man gar nicht so richtig gut in der Kamera. Das ist richtig cool gemacht gerade.
But before, I also have quite a big surprise that I'm not gonna spill just yet, but stick around, and we have something that you don't expect.
Endlich mal ein bisschen besser machen mit dem Campen oder mal Tunneln abschaffen oder so, ich weiß es auch nicht.
Das ist auf jeden Fall ein Ding, was ich nie erwarten würde, aber...
Ey, ich würde es hoffen, aber... nee.
Always such a tease. Thank you, Matt, for the intro. Hey, my name's Eric Pope. I'm the community director here at Behavior. I've been here a little over a year now, and in that time, I've been really blown away by the passion of the DbD player community. It's really something special.
They're awesome.
They are, and we take it really seriously. We don't take it for granted, and kind of along those lines, for me being here representing how we speak to our community, I just wanted you to know that we've actually taken the past year to expand our reach. We also have expanded where we are connecting with our players, because the players at the center of everything that we're doing. We want to be in more places to hear your feedback on all of the things that we're doing. So we're now on the Xbox official clubs. We're now on PlayStation News. We're talking on Steam forums. We're even getting more involved back on the Reddit. With the moderators there, there'll be more AMAs coming up from the team, and even live streams like you're seeing right now. We want to make more regular again. So look forward to all of that coming over the next year. Now I think I couldn't forget the most important platform of them all. No joking aside, all joking aside. Actually, today we are launching our TikTok channel.
Sorry, ich muss kurz mal sagen, guck doch mal, guck ihn links hier mal an, wie er einfach gerade die Grimasse zieht. Ich finde das voll lustig. Das ist
Ja,
irgendwie...
diese Lego-Fliege, die der Herr anhat, oder? Die ist
Ja.
doch aus Lego.
Ja. Ich habe die Kamera ein bisschen weiter runter gemacht, aber ey, total geil.
But I think we should move on with the show itself. Did you know, Matt, that over the 7 years, there's been over 1.8 billion trials?
What?
Yes, billion with a B. And to that note, DbD is not slowing down at all.
We wouldn't know how.
No, we wouldn't and we couldn't. So let's talk through what you're going to see today. We're going to kick things off with the Year 8 roadmap. That's going to show you everything that's coming across the year to DbD. Following that, we're going to take you through the reveal of our next chapter, which is some incredible original stuff you're not going to want to miss. After that, we've got gameplay updates. After that, we've got quality of life updates.
Ooh.
And then a new segment has come to the show. This is actually something that's really cool. We're going to take you beyond the core game of DbD to show you how we're expanding other places and in other ways that you might not be expecting.
Very exciting.
Very exciting. Speaking of exciting, we have new cosmetics to reveal as well that I think are going to surprise people. I'm so psyched about those. And we're going to round it out with news about the in-game 7th anniversary event, which is better than ever, actually. It's going to be a really exciting one this year. And of course, as Matt mentioned, you do want to stick around for whatever he's hiding, because I actually know what it is, and it's incredible.
Can't tell them.
No, I can't tell you as much as I would like to. So thank you so much for joining us. Sit back, relax. We've got a great show. And now I think we should get on to it.
Enjoy.
Oh. Das bin ich ja gespannt.
Hello everyone and welcome to the roadmap segment
so
of
excited.
the 7th year anniversary stream for Dead by Daylight. I'm Stéphane Beauchamp, head of production.
And I'm Justin Brown, product director. We're really glad to be here celebrating another amazing year of Dead by Daylight with you.
Today in this segment, we'll have a look at our upcoming pillars for year 8, as well as our chapters plans and the archives and tomes updates that we have planned for the year. Before going any further, I do want to take a brief moment to give a big shout out to the amazing team that's been working on the game for the past years. They put amazing effort and dedication into that and really allow us to get the game to the state it is today. It's just absolutely amazing and a pleasure to work with the entire team.
Agreed.
Over the past year,
Der kleine Generator in der Ecke vom Raum.
chapters, I feel, along
Das ist
with
so süß.
others. But first, Forging Fog has allowed us to tap into a new theme which we've never really had a chance to before. Medieval, which is something we hadn't explored. So our first foray into that and how that ties into the horror themes and all, that was very interesting to navigate. And the second one, for the first time, we have released a first ever sequel to a licensed chapter in Resident Evil Project W. Such a great and cool addition to the game, I think, bringing in a lot of characters people love, and they have been really fun to play with ourselves.
Absolutely. Wesker was so well done. One of my favorite killers to play, personally. And it was right around the time that he released that we also did the Prestige update, making it easier than ever for you to sort of unlock all of your perks throughout all of your characters. We also, shortly after the Prestige update, reduced the blood point total or cost.
Immer noch
blood
eins meiner
weapon
liebsten
for
Neuerungen,
all
die es gab.
items. We followed that up with bots, survivor bots specifically, in custom matches, which was super useful. Practice your killer in a custom match. It's
Das ist
awesome.
nice, ja.
We
Hab ich auch noch nie genutzt.
Echt? Ich schon.
updates to the archives.
Okay.
One being the ability to select quest per role, and then the second just that in-game toast notification so you can track progress in a match, which is ever so helpful. And then last but not least, last year we said we were going to make our events bigger and better, and we feel like we really delivered that with last year's Halloween. Probably the biggest, best event we've done in Dead by Daylight to date.
Absolutely.
Sorry. Hä, das habe ich gar nicht mitgekriegt.
Here's, we're going to give you
Ich
guys
auch
the
nicht.
first peek at the upcoming content. You
Ich
can
wusste bloß, dass du
expect us
damals
to
Kürbisse
release
treten
throughout this
musstest.
Hä, aber ja, aber...
First and foremost,
What?
of course, there are
Huh?
that include killers. But in a strange twist, what you will notice on the graphic today is that there are also 2 survivor-only
Ooh.
chapters being released in this next year.
Ach, 2024, März, April. Oh, nice. Ach, guck mal, bei dem November gibt es nur einen neuen Killer, aber keinen Survivor. Okay.
Das gibt's dann ja aber dafür im Januar. Hä?
Ja. Hä, das
aber
ist ja...
guck mal, der bringt ja jetzt so gesehen
Ja.
weniger Chapter Redacted.
Na,
Was
nur?
heißt denn Redacted nochmal?
Warte schnell.
June. Das ist bestimmt das, was wir heute vorstellen.
Ja.
Dann kommt im Juli der neue Survivor und ich denke mal, das wird Nicolas Cage sein, was ich schon
Ja, das hat man ja
angekündigt
schon
habe.
gesehen, genau.
Chapter im August, ein neuer Killer und ein neuer Survivor. Dann kommt im Oktober
okay,
gar
ja.
nichts.
Das
Im
bist du,
Oktober kommt
das bist du doof. Finde ich, also, okay.
jetzt halt ein Monat weniger Zeug, ne?
Mhm.
Aber dafür 2 Monate sogar, November und Januar.
Ja.
Again, we're exploring another theme we really haven't had the chance to in the past, so that's pretty exciting, both in terms of the characters and the team we're exploring with it. The next 2 killers that will follow after that are going to be licensed and
Oh!
I would say licensed with a big L if I can. Really iconic additions to the game. Extremely
Oh my
excited
God.
to be able to talk a little bit
Aber
more about
wer?
that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, a little too early today to be able to do that. We've started to play with them a little bit internally and seeing how the characters are going to shape up, and it's pretty exciting to actually have those additions to the game.
Oh, oh.
Yes.
Ich
So,
sag's,
more to
Jason.
come
Auch
later
nicht
this year.
Jason, Alter. Ich will den in dem
In
Spiel
addition to
sehen.
that, moving away from the chapters, we will
Das
also
wär
have
nice.
4 new tomes added to the game throughout the year, as we usually have over the past years. So, moving away from our chapters and archives, we'll now deep dive into the 4 pillars that compose the roadmap for the year, and as players will see, they're a continuity from what we've been doing over the last years.
Of course, and though the pillars might look the same, the projects we work on under each pillar changes from year to year. The first pillar is something we've already talked about, events evolution, we're calling this pillar. But in addition to those 4 pillar events, we're also going to look at adding a few more smaller events spread throughout the year.
And for those of you who have been with us for a long time, you might already know what the smell of barbecue is in the game. I know you love barbecue.
Love barbecue.
We all do. For those of you who don't, well, you'll get to see it very shortly. But really, the goal is to give you more to play with at all times in the game and something to work towards too. Second pillar is trust and security, which is more important to us than ever in Dead by Daylight. This pillar both reflects the systems that we're putting in place to make the game more secure, but also the way we're communicating with our players. The first one, the former of those, we're really excited to say that we're about to launch a vulnerabilities disclosure program, which will allow us to work with people in the wild to report potential threats about the game, about our servers, etc., and really facilitate us closing those potential weaknesses that we knew or did not know about within the game. So very, very excited to launch this. This is going to be coming up in the near future, so you can stay tuned for more info about that.
Yes, I'm super excited for when we're able to share a little bit more information with everybody about that initiative. Next up, we're also going to be looking at revamping our sort of streaming strategy. We want to make sure that we're able to communicate with you, our players, more often, offer a higher level of transparency, discuss sort of updates and the progress on a lot of the features and initiatives we're going to be announcing and talking about throughout this stream today. We plan on doing that by doing live streams more consistently to celebrate, new chapter releases, large key beats, and generally just being in contact with you, our community, consistently throughout the year.
So will ich das.
One of those topics is very likely to be our next pillar, which is life balance, a topic that's, very dear to us. It's something I spend a lot of time thinking about and worrying about. And something that I won't go too deep into today, because we will be talking about our life balance plans in a little bit, right?
Yeah, well, we'll have Nat and Jeff coming up in a future segment and talk about what type of projects we have planned for the coming months on that specifically.
Awesome.
Very excited, very important for us, and we know how dear to the community's heart this also is. A pretty hot topic in general, I would say. Last but not least, quality of life is a staple pillar on which we have continuously worked throughout the years, and this is all about the UI and feature improvements we make to the game as a more general type of thing. One improvement we did last year was the Survivor HUD, which facilitates exchange and communication between players, even if they're not talking with each other directly, to make sure you can always make a better decision as a survivor when you're playing the game, because you know what's happening a little bit more than you used to in the past. In addition to that, you've talked about the improvements we made to the progression and made it faster to level up, but we made it even faster by allowing you to just spend a ton of blood points almost instantaneously and just get it done and get it through with with upgrading your characters and leveling up them much faster.
Immer noch so eine geile
Feels
Erinnerung.
great.
Ja.
It does. And finally, the map repeat prevention feature, which was released a few months ago, which, again, another addition. There's a lot of maps into the game. Some of you might have felt like even if you're playing for just an hour, you're often tapping like 2 or 3 times into the same map and such.
Yeah,
And this
oh
is
yeah.
really preventing that from happening as much as possible. So a very cool addition. We're not going to go too much in detail today, or at least in this specific segment, to talk more about quality of life features, but we'll have 2 new faces, Raphael and Pamela, who are going to be coming up in a future panel and talk to you about some of the projects we have planned and even show you a few features that we have under works right now and that are going to be coming up in your hands fairly shortly.
Excellent. There's a lot we look forward to sharing with you in this stream today. And we thank you again for an amazing 7 years celebrating Dead by Daylight with us. And we look forward to many more.
Nice.
Next up is our friend Dave Richard to give you a first look at our next upcoming Dead by Daylight chapter. Enjoy.
Let's go.
Hey,
Oh,
I'm
den
Dave
kenne
Richard,
ich.
creative
Ja,
director of
den habe ich
Dead
auch
by
schon
Daylight.
gesehen.
I'm super happy to be with you today to celebrate our 7th anniversary and to show you a first look at our latest chapter and transmission. Let's take a look at the trailer.
Nice. Ja.
It wasn't programmed to harm the crew.
Der Typ ist so
It
heiß,
was
ey.
supposed
Oh.
to help us build a safer home, but something happened. It became self-aware. It has no empathy. It doesn't feel pain. It learns at an impossible rate, and it won't stop until we are dead. Or worse.
Was er am Anfang sagt, it wasn't planned to harm the crew oder so, irgendwie so sagt er. Kann es irgendwie sein, dass sie, also dass das Vieh, das Tier, das Ding da, dass das vielleicht irgendwie zuerst auf denen ihrer Seite war oder so? Oder die vielleicht das so programmiert haben, dass es irgendwie zu denen gehört und das irgendwie so
Es
ein
ist ja auf jeden Fall
Wandel
ganz
bekommen hat?
offensichtlich war es ja mal ein Roboter.
Ja. Ne?
Und ich meine, weit weg ist es auf jeden Fall nie. Aber weißt du, was mich gerade nervt?
Ne?
Die haben doch hier gerade eben gezeigt. Warte mal. Die bringen keine neue Map, ne?
Oh nein! Hä?
Oh Mann!
Ah, die Map sah so geil aus. Oh no way, das habe ich gar nicht mitbekommen. Ach du Scheiße. Aber vor allem, das was mir auch noch aufgefallen ist, diese Schleimbeutel, die der immer schießt, ne? Können die auf dich schießen? Also das würde mich mal übelst interessieren. Und vor allem, die kleben sich ja dann auch an dich dran. Das ist bestimmt auch wie von der neuen Killerin. Diese Tracker, wo die dann sieht, wo du bist,
Ja.
vielleicht, oder? Irgendwie so.
Weißt du, was ich mir vorstellen könnte? Diese Schleimbeutel, die spucken ja, ne?
Ja, okay.
Und, also, ganz doof jetzt ausgedrückt. Und weißt du, was ich jetzt gedacht hätte?
Hm.
Dass die eine Benachrichtigung bekommt oder so. Also der Killer bekommt eine Benachrichtigung, wenn der Schleimbeutel an dir klebt.
Hm.
Und dann kannst du sagen, gut, ich teleportiere mich dahin. Dann spuckt der Schleimbeutel so eine Pfütze, wie du es gesehen hast im Trailer. Und dort kommst du dann raus. Und das dauert halt seine 10 Sekunden oder so.
Das wäre auch krass, Alter. Oder das wäre so eine Art Portal wie Demogorgon oder so, ne? Oh, das wäre auch crazy. Könnte schon sein, das wäre nice.
Cool.
Oh, das
Aber
ist crazy.
das mit der Map nervt mich jetzt schon wieder. Hallo!
Ich hatte auch
Aber egal,
gedacht,
ich denke mal.
das wäre voll nice gewesen. Vor allem dieses Main-Building, wo der dann reingeht hier am Ende, ne? Wäre voll
Da, wo es so
geil.
dunkel ist und so, weißt du, wo
Ja.
du fast nicht siehst.
Aber vielleicht kommt die Map noch, das wissen wir jetzt noch nicht.
Vielleicht sagt er, also er wird es ja jetzt erklären, denke
Ja,
ich mal.
eben. No, no, no.
Da wird jetzt bestimmt noch was kommen. Aber trotzdem, der Typ, den werde ich mir auf jeden Fall kaufen. 13. Juni kommt das schon raus.
Oh, geil.
Ist ja gar nicht mehr so
As you
lange.
just saw in the trailer, this original chapter brings us into a completely new genre of horror for Dead by Daylight. We are going to explore sci-fi horror.
Mhm.
So this will bring us to a distant, unknown planet, and will feature characters from a possible future. Traditionally, I would be taking some time with you today to go over the characters and the map of the chapter.
Okay, doch,
But
bring eine
this
Map.
year we're doing things a little bit differently.
Hab ich
With a
gesagt.
behind-the-scene video. We
Oh,
want
cool.
to show you the process of creating a chapter, but also show you new faces that you might not have seen before of
Sehr nice.
amazing people that are working hard to make these chapters possible.
Sehr nice.
Let's take a look.
Geil,
Oh
das
mein
wollte
Gott,
ich
da bin
schon,
jetzt
das wollte ich schon
gespannt.
immer
Das ist
sehen.
cool.
Ja.
Das ist cool. Die Map sieht geil aus. Die Map sieht richtig geil aus.
For the anniversary, we've prepared a
Ach,
very
das ist
special
gruselig.
original chapter.
On a de la chance sur Dead by Daylight d'avoir
Oh,
un
rede
lore
Englisch.
qui permet beaucoup de flexibilité, de possibilités.
Alter,
This is
geil.
a big deal for the Dead by Daylight universe because we're going to explore a new
Kann die
genre
fliegen?
of horror. We're going
Ich glaube, das war einfach nur so ein Vieh.
Alter, das wäre aber auch krass, ohne Scheiß. Wenn die dann über die Map fliegt, um zu dir zu kommen.
I think that any kind of subject and genre can be rewrapped and reimagined as horror, and sci-fi is definitely not an exception. There are three big themes that we wanted to explore in that new realm. First of all, it's clearly an alien world. We wanted you to feel like you are far from home, that you are lost in space. That we wanted to make sure that the human technology looked weak, lo-fi, so that you never feel safe within these constructions that they've brought on the settlement.
Das haben sie
The last
geschafft.
thing we've added to the mix are traces of a long-lost alien civilization.
Donc, comme vous pouvez imaginer, toute l'équipe a été très excitée de travailler sur un chapitre pareil de science-fiction. Le gros challenge et en même temps l'intéressant défi qu'on a eu, ça a été d'amener toute cette consistance, cette relation entre
Oh,
les
ist das eklig.
personnages, l'environnement. Tout a été pensé visuellement pour que le joueur se sente en danger constant. Et la tension est accentuée par la présence de ce tueur qui est une intelligence
bewegt sich
artificielle
ruhig-
qui se
ruhig
nourrit de
eklig.
l'environnement et qui est intéressé par récupérer plusieurs ressources pour se construire un corps parfait pour devenir l'arme ultime.
Die
Les
Map sieht
joueurs
richtig
vont
krank aus.
explorer une jungle hostile et sauvage d'un autre monde. Tout est designé dans cette jungle pour pouvoir tuer.
Vor allem die
One
Musik.
aspect I really enjoyed
Mhm.
was that it was a jungle, so we could make it super dense, super threatening in the organic design and the design of the plants. Everything kind of looks like it could kill you. We tried to have like very creepy looking texture, very organic texture you would find in nature. We would try to bring it into the designs of the plants and the vegetation in general. For the main building, the idea was to show there was a safe space for the characters. As you can see, it's on stilts. It's elevated compared to the map. The idea was to show that the map is very dangerous and this place should be safe for you. But the interesting idea we had is that once you get into the structure, it's actually more dangerous or looks more threatening.
Krank.
Sorry, aber die Map ist bestimmt richtig flach.
Mhm.
The Singularity is an AI that is supposed to help the human crew settle
Ja.
on this new But while it was scouting, it got in touch with a piece of old alien technology and was enlightened. And now it wants to overthrow and kill all humans. So this killer is an interesting take on the cyborg. We're used to see organic character using pieces of machinery to become more powerful. But the Singularity is doing it in reverse. It is a simple piece of technology using a cloning technology to get organic material and flesh to become more powerful.
Well, the inspiration of the killer design was, we always wanted to do a sci-fi killer, so you're going to be able to go around the map and set up these biopods, spread your consciousness inside of these biopods, and then if you're able to catch a survivor inside of your reticle, you'll be able to infect them, appear next to them, and then you'll be able to attack them and keep the chase going. One of the important things for survivors is teamwork, trusting each other, working together. So with this killer, one of its abilities in the slipstream is that once a survivor is tagged or infected, you can spread that influence to other survivors, and it does so automatically, so survivors will be less likely to work together, and there'll be
What?
more discord between them.
Was? Nein, Alter, what the fuck?
La présence
Krank,
humaine
Alter, die
est
wollen
dans
dich
la
dazu
map.
bringen, dass du
On
nicht mehr
voit
zusammenarbeitest.
Une compagnie qui a essayé de coloniser, de
Alter.
trouver sa place dans ce monde, mais plusieurs signes dans l'environnement que les joueurs découvriront.
Oh mein Gott, wie geil sieht das
Tout
bitte
s'est
aus.
pas très bien passé.
Mhm.
Et le dernier survivant de cette expédition loupée, c'est Gabriel.
Our survivor, Gabriel Soma, is quite resourceful. He's able to troubleshoot some pesky issues on the survivor side, and he's able to adapt very quickly to be able to bring the killer away from the other survivors. He's able to protect the others.
So even though we are in a setting that's so far from home, in the future, we wanted to make sure that Gabriel was a grounded character, that any of us could recognize ourselves in him.
I'm super excited for players to try this map. I think it's great that sci-fi is finally in DbD. I think it's going to be fun for them to experience the creepiness and the threatening vibe of this map, and I think they're going to really enjoy it.
C'était un sacré défi. J'espère que les joueurs apprécieront cette
Da zieht
relation
ihn ja
qui
hinterher.
entre nos assets, l'environnement,
Die
les
Musik
personnages,
ist übelst
à
krank.
cause de l'histoire
Ja.
que l'on raconte. Et aussi par le travail qui a été effectué par toute notre équipe pour apporter l'expérience la plus immersive et dangereuse possible.
I'm really excited for all of our players, survivors and killers alike, to be able to experience our first original sci-fi chapter and transmission.
Das war gerade Smori, oder? So
As always, you'll
angeteasert.
be able to play with the content of this chapter during the PTB right after this broadcast. For everyone else, the chapter becomes available on June 13th. Before I leave, I want to take some time and thank all of you, veterans and newcomers alike, to play Dead by Daylight and to be part of this incredible journey with us. I want to wish you a happy 7th anniversary. May the year be filled with fun and surprises. Next up, we have Natalie and Jeff to talk about some gameplay improvements
Jeff.
coming this year.
Yes!
Hi everyone,
Oh.
I'm Natalie,
Ich habe mir
team
Jeff
lead
jetzt anders
community manager
vorgestellt.
for Dead by Daylight, and I'm joined here today with a very
My name is Jeff.
Hi everyone, my name is Jeff and I'm a
I'm
game
Jeff.
designer.
My name is Jeff.
so much for joining me, Jeff. I can't wait to talk a little bit more
Oh
about
no.
a topic that is always top of mind for our community, gameplay. So we have some quick updates for you today. Jeff, let us know what they are.
Well, as you know, the game design team has many features and updates planned for this year. However, we'll be focusing on 3 specific topics today. We're going to be talking about continued gameplay updates, map balance, and finally, plans to address face camping in Dead by Daylight.
Ja!
I'm excited to dive
Yeah!
into these quick updates.
Bam,
so
Alter.
without further ado, let's jump right in. I know last year we launched one of the biggest perk updates in Dead by Daylight ever, and it significantly shifted the Dead by Daylight perk meta as a whole. But that's not what we're going to be talking about today. That's happened in the past. What we're going to be focusing on a little bit more is the process that we're looking to take consistently moving forward as a community and design team when it comes to these gameplay updates. So, Jeff, what more can you share with us on that?
Well, as you said, last year we launched our biggest perk update ever in Dead by Daylight, and it had a significant impact on the perk meta. We saw a lot of perks fall out of the meta and new perks rise to the top. And this was completely natural. Like, the players are the ones that drove this change after the changes went live. And it was super interesting to see, by the way. But moving forward, or for this year, we're not planning to have a major shakeup like we did last year. Instead, we revisited our live design process to allow us to make changes at a faster rate. Instead, we'll be focusing on smaller, more focused balance updates with each update this year.
That makes a lot of sense. And of course, it's one of the reasons why we listen so closely to player feedback as a whole. But it does sound like we're going to be able to integrate some of that feedback that we're bringing back to your team and, we're discussing when it comes to these kinds of updates a little bit faster than before. Am I right?
Absolutely. And I think the best example for that was the previous PTB that we had. We had a proposed list of changes that went onto the PTB. The community gave a lot of feedback and your team reported that to us. And we made some small adjustments. Well, we made quite a few adjustments to it and it went live. And I think that everyone was pretty happy with the result. So our intention with this change is really to give us the flexibility to analyze, adjust, and observe the outcome more frequently. That way, similar to what happened with the previous PTB, if a change doesn't go as we envisioned, we can readjust it before it goes live and even after it goes live, right? Like, we're still listening for feedback and we'll make further adjustments if needed.
Exactly. It's this ongoing process that never really ends. So I think that's something really important to highlight. But of course, we know that this doesn't only apply to things like perks and add-ons. We also are aware of some of the comments you folks are leaving about maps. So we are very happy to announce that moving forward, we plan on having map balancing as part of these regular gameplay updates as well. What more do you have to say on that, Jeff?
First, I mean, I can already hear the players rejoicing from really far away because this has been a hot topic for a very long time in Dead by Daylight.
Nice.
And I think you'll agree, and the players probably agree too, that most maps in Dead by Daylight are seen as either killer-sided or survivor-sided. And our goal with integrating into the live design process is really to make them feel more balanced, so creating a more even playing field for both sides.
Oh
We
ja,
started this
bitte.
process with the Raccoon City Police Department, then we followed suit with the Area of Crows map, and finally
Lass die Map einfach
the
raus.
most recent ones
Einfach
with Blood
raus.
Lodge and Gas Heaven. And what's great about these changes is that they can be as small as moving a small location for totems or generators, to reviewing pallet safety so we can make a pallet more safe or less safe, to bigger things like changing the map layout or changing building layouts.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I know our team's already coming through a lot of the feedback. Your team's already looking at how we can integrate some of that feedback. But looking toward the future a little bit more, what kind of maps are we going to be targeting next? I think I know what it might be.
We need a drum roll over here.
I know.
We really do. Because this one is a big one, and I'm sure that the longtime players will be
Hier der
ecstatic
Sumpf,
to hear
safe.
that the next two maps that we're targeting are some of the most notorious maps in Dead by Daylight.
Uh-oh.
I'm talking about two Cold Wind Farm maps, Fractured Cowshed and Rancid Abattoir. But what's important to remember is that integrating this into the live design process means that we'll be listening to feedback and making further adjustments as we go.
Yeah, definitely. And it's also one of the reasons why it's so crucial that you let us know what your feedback is regularly through the official channels in particular. Of course, I believe we're going to be having this update for Cold Wind going live sometime before the end of the summer. So make sure to keep your eyes and your ears peeled for more information. You know I had to sneak in a corny pun. You know it. All right, finally, in terms of our quick updates, we have one more feature that we wanted to discuss. And that is something to do with face camping. So if you're new to Dead by Daylight, if you've never heard this term before, face camping is basically a term used to describe a killer
ob
that's
das hier ein
standing directly
DbD-Spieler
in
nicht
front of a
kennt.
hooked survivor. They're not moving, they're waiting for that hooked survivor to die on hook, and this is usually happening either for a large portion of the match, if not the entirety of the match. We know that face camping can be very unfun for the person on the hook, but of course also the other people in the match. So we're looking to test out a new feature that's going to help combat face camping as a whole. So Jeff, tell us how it works.
Well, the first thing I want to say is that as an altruistic survivor, it's really difficult for me to play against someone who's face camping because I just want to help and I can't. So I'm stuck, doing generators instead. Which is fine, but I'd rather help my teammates. But yes, so the way the system works is that the hooked survivor has a meter on their screen, and it fills up based on the killer's distance to the hooked survivor. So the closer the killer is, the faster it fills up. The further they are, the slower it fills up until it doesn't fill up at all because they're not within a certain radius. And once it's full, the hooked survivor can unhook themselves even in the second stage. And what's great about this is that they get the full benefits of being unhooked. So it's as though a teammate had unhooked them, or they unhook themselves with the perks such as Deliverance. So for those of you who don't know, that means they'll get the haste status effect and the endurance status effect, so they're pretty safe at that stage.
That is so awesome here.
Das ist geil.
Das ist richtig nice, oh mein Gott.
Things on this topic, so I'm gonna start by bringing probably one of the questions we're gonna get, and that's what
Ihr Facecam, ihr schafft es jetzt nicht mehr, ey. Sau
Das müsst ihr mit dem Messerwerfer, den wir letztens hatten, zeigen.
Is there any
Wisst
situation
ihr?
in which
Ja,
the feature
Trickster.
might slow down or turn off or be otherwise affected?
That's a great question. And yes, there are some scenarios where it either slows down or turns off. So for the first one that you mentioned, where survivors are swarming the hook, as soon as there is one other survivor within that same radius, the meter will build up a lot more slowly. So the killer doesn't have to worry about survivors swarming the hook and being penalized for it. As for the second option that we talked about, which was turning it off, once the exit gates are powered, the feature is completely turned off. So you can defend your only objective, again, without having to worry about the survivor unhooking themselves.
That makes a lot of sense. Of course, we're going to be so eager to hear what you folks are going to say on this matter. And for the most part, it really does sound like this feature is targeting those most egregious cases of face camping, where it's really used kind of in a spot that's way too early in the game, or in a spot that's really not going to make sure that the match is as fun as possible. So with that said, though, when can folks expect to get their hands on this feature? When can they let us know what their thoughts are?
The burning question everyone wants to know. So our plan, which is subject to change, of course, is to have it sometime later this year on a PTB. And as with all PTBs, we'll be listening to feedback and making further adjustments before it goes live. And even once it goes live, we'll still be listening and gathering feedback to make further adjustments, just to make sure that, it's as good as it can be.
Of course, yeah. And again, TLDR, we are eager to hear those thoughts, so let us have them on the official channels as much as possible. We are always keeping an eye out. But I think that's it. That's a wrap for our quick gameplay updates segment. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for joining me, Jeff, again.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, das war gerade so geil, ey. Gott sei Dank.
All right,
That's
it's
why.
time. Finally, I've been holding this in for too long. I can finally tell you all about our next survivor. Oh. All right then.
Nein! Was mit der
Das
Info?
war jetzt schon wieder frech. Das war frech. Ich wollte irgendwas über Nicolas Cage erzählen.
Glad to be here to celebrate Dead by Daylight's 7th anniversary. My name is Raphael, producer on DbD, and today I'm pleased to be with Pam as well.
Hi Raph. Hi everyone. My name is Pamela. I'm the lead UI designer on Dead by Daylight as well. And we're so happy to be here today because we want to share with you some of the great quality of life improvements that the team is working really hard for year 8.
So before we dive into the good stuff, today our goal is to give you an idea on when we plan to deliver those upcoming features. That said, you know it is, sometimes priorities and timelines can shift, but we're more dev-focused live stream than ever planned for this year. We'll
Der hat einen geilen Pulli an, den wird schon tragen.
Alright, let's get
Ich würde den Pulli von der auch tragen, der ist
to
auch
start.
nice.
I think you
Ja,
have
oben mit dem
something the
Weißen so.
community has been asking a lot.
Yes. So we all know Dead by Daylight has been live for 7 years now. And if you have been playing the game since the start, there's no way your inventory isn't full of perks, outfits, and charms, and add-ons and items. Because we did release a lot of content back in the time. But last year, we did introduce the feature called Loadout Preset, which means that you were able to manage this process a little bit easier. But right now, we're so happy to say that we are building on this feature even more because we are adding finally the Loadout search bar to help you find quickly whatever you're looking for. So on the
Ja, durch die
Loadout
ganzen
search,
Seiten scrollen.
you're just gonna need to type in either the name of the thing you're looking for or just a word
Geil.
within the description.
Das ist
and
geil.
we'll find for you instantly.
So let's say I'm looking for the
Oh
perks
mein
affecting
Gott, ja.
generators. I just type in generator, and
Ja.
then all the related perks will be displayed.
Exactly.
Oh, I can see how it's going to be a huge help for our players.
Yes.
Oh mein
And not
Gott.
just that, we're happy to say that this feature is also going to be available in all platforms.
Ja.
And you won't have to wait for it longer either to test it. Because this feature is going to be available today on the PTB update that we're going to be releasing right after this broadcast.
Amazing. We really hope you're going to enjoy.
Yes.
Ja.
So, as we're talking about improvements in the player experience, Raph, I know you have something really interesting for us today.
Yeah, we got a lot of requests on this feature. All DbD players know that sometimes when a survivor disconnects, well, it put the rest of the group at huge disadvantage. And it's safe to say that at this point, it's not going to be an ideal experience. So that's why with our upcoming feature,
Uh-oh.
once a survivor will disconnect, an AI bot will take over so that the game can continue. And who knows,
Nice,
maybe
das ist
this
geil.
bot will be even better than the player who just disconnected. So,
Wie
joking
cool.
aside,
Ja, das ist
we
cool.
really hope this will alleviate frustration and help matches to run more smoothly.
Das
Yes.
ist wahrscheinlich nicht
And also
perfekt,
to
aber
make
es
sure
hilft
that no one is
viel.
left in the dark, what
Ja.
we're gonna do is, as soon as a bot spawns in, every survivor and every killer on the game, they're gonna be made aware through the UI, as well as a sound cue, whenever they see there is a survivor disconnect bot in the match they're playing.
And right now, we plan to release the feature this summer.
Yeah.
So for the next feature, if you're playing online game, I'm pretty sure you're gonna recognize what Pam is about to mention.
Yes, this is something that we're super excited because the team is really working hard in trying to come up with an entirely new type of cosmetics so you'll be able to showcase your personality on Dead by Daylight even more.
Ja.
So what we're talking about here is the player cards. And what means for us on Dead by Daylight is alongside your name, you're probably going to be able to assign a background or a banner
Geil.
and an icon. And you will be able to earn those cosmetics during the fall. This is where we're planning. But the idea is they're going to start as standard rewards in every tome. and we're still gonna be working on other ways for you to earn those cosmetics in the future. So we're not stopping there.
That's awesome. Can't wait to share my custom icons and banners.
Yes. One last thing, Raph, I know you have something that ties everything that we're talking about here related to improvements.
Yeah, as we said today, we're constantly working on making DbD a safer, but also a more secure environment for all players. And the report system is an integral part of that. Right now, how it works, at the end of the game, if a player wants to report people because of bad conduct, hacking, or other reason, they can. But let's be honest, there is not much visibility on that process. But it's important to say that our team has always been committed to taking action on this report. Soon, thanks to our upcoming feature, the player report feedback, we will let you know when an action has been taken against a player you reported.
And also to highlight even more, not
that's
only
nice.
every report that every player does is really appreciated, but we are really taking serious and having those actions.
Da können wir nicht mehr so viel Scheiße bauen.
Yeah, and as for now, we plan to
Nicht mehr
release the
jeden
feature
Killer
over the
hier
summer.
reporten.
Ja.
And that's it for today. Thanks for another amazing
Das
year.
war auch geil.
Thank you so
Ja,
much,
das ist
Pam,
nice.
for being with us today.
Thank you, Raph.
Alter.
Next up, an exciting look at what lies ahead for the world of Dead by Daylight. Enjoy
Oh,
the
jetzt
rest of
kommt
the
die
broadcast.
Zukunft.
Ciao.
Danke.
Es gibt so viele
Ciao.
geile Sachen, ey, Junge.
Alter, das war jetzt auch nicht schlecht.
Und die muss jetzt schon natürlich wieder kotzen.
So.
Ja, voll cool, ein Comic, das ist ja nice.
Das ist wirklich cool. Ich meine, ich werde es mir jetzt nicht holen, aber das ist cool für die Leute, die sowas lesen. Oder anschauen.
Alter, ich würde mir das holen. Das sieht auch nice aus.
Print in Digital. Ja, wenn, dann würde ich mir das schon im Print kaufen, aber da kann ich ja da nachfragen. Ja, wollte ich über Italia. Oh. Oh, okay. DbD Mobile habe ich nicht so viel am Hut.
Ich bin gespannt, ich würde es gerne mal sehen.
Die haben halt viel geilere Moris als die PC-Spieler,
Ja,
ne?
und viel geilere Cosmetics.
Ja.
Ja, guck dir das mal an, das ist doch voll geil. Oh, Seidenblumen. Seidenblumen, japanische Seidenblumen sind so schön. Und ich weiß nicht, ob die für das Ende stehen oder für den Tod oder so. Bin mir jetzt gerade noch nicht sicher.
Guck dir das doch mal an. Das ist auch für DbD Mobile, ne? Das ist
Ja.
das Problem.
Ja, ja.
Die
Alter.
Moris, Alter.
Junge. Oh mein Gott. Oh mein Gott.
Aus. Das finde ich halt ein bisschen ungerecht, muss ich ganz
Oh mein
ehrlich sein.
Gott, das ist voll
I'm
geil.
Stephen Maloney, Executive Vice President of Digital at Behavior Interactive. As someone who's been on Dead by Daylight since the very beginning, it's been amazing to see the ways both the game and its community have grown. We've added a lot to the
Alter,
video
ja.
over the past 7 years, with a mobile game, comic books, a board game, Hooked on You, and even the Dead by Daylight movie on the way. We've built a franchise with something for everyone. Today, I'm happy to announce that we're gearing up to get even bigger, expanding Dead by Daylight beyond our core game and giving players more ways into the fog than ever before. To bring these new experiences to life, we're collaborating with some amazing studios, one with expertise in multiplayer games and another with expertise in interactive narratives. So with that, let's hear a little bit more about what they've been up to.
We're obviously all horror fans here at
Oh,
Supermassive,
massive.
and massive
Geil,
fans
geil.
of Dead by Daylight.
Oh ja.
Now we're thrilled to be collaborating with Behavior on on a brand new single-player
What?
interactive story game set in
Was?
the terrifying omniverse of
Was?
Dead by Daylight.
We've been working
Was?
to blend the tension, agency, and branching storytelling of a supermassive game together with Dead by Daylight's mythology to create an intense narrative experience filled with powerful life or death choices.
Alter Junge,
Our
Hashtag
game will be
Gänsehaut.
set outside the entity's realm and feature the story of a new cast of characters who players will follow for an unprecedented experience beyond the fog.
This is a whole new way for horror fans to experience Dead by Daylight, and we couldn't be more excited to share it with the world. So stay tuned, we'll have more to reveal later this year.
Alter.
It's been almost a year since
Alter.
Winter joined the Behavior family to work on a brand new project set in the Dead by Daylight universe. One of the things we love most about the world of Dead by Daylight is the infinite possibilities. We thought about the game's multiplayer action, which we love, and reimagined it in a completely new way.
The themes in our game will center around greed and the lust for power. These will be present in both the gameplay itself and in the stories of the characters who were tempted to enter a strange new corner of the entity's realms. Our vision is to create a multiplayer PvE experience where instead of facing off against each other, up to 4 players can team up, enter another one of the entity's realms, and take on a host of deadly enemies that occupy it.
This project is still in very early stages. We are really excited about what we're doing and can't wait to share more as we go.
Stay tuned for more.
7 years in, and the world of Dead by Daylight has never felt bigger. I'm so excited that players will have 2 new ways to explore the entity's realm. There's still a lot of work to do before we'll have more to share, but just follow Dead by Daylight and we'll make sure you're the first to know.
Oh mein Gott. Oh mein Gott, Alter.
Hi everyone, I'm
Das war
Xavier,
jetzt wirklich too
Echepa,
much for
Art
me.
Director.
Ja.
Hi everyone, I'm Rosalie, Senior Product Manager.
We're super happy to be back with you today to talk about all the new exciting content coming to the Dead by Daylight store over the next year. Rose, it's been 7 years already.
Long journey.
Oh, what a long journey, what a beautiful journey, but 7 years old, wow. Dozens of collections, thousands of cosmetics brought to life with passion and dedication by our art departments. And yeah, along the years, we provided to our players an incredible amount of options when it comes to how to represent themselves in the game.
Some would say too many.
Yes, it's a lot of outfits, and more are coming. And today I think we should share more about it. You know,
Okay.
about what's coming.
We're ready to share.
Yeah. And also we have a special guest joining us later to discuss about this unique collection we work on together. So yeah, maybe we should start.
Okay, so Dead by Daylight is a game, as you all know, that's known for its great soundtrack. And we're always on the lookout for opportunities to explore like the music scene in particular in our cosmetics. And we have 2 collections coming in the next year that, well, although they've just come together and we don't really have any dates yet, but we really couldn't resist sharing. So here goes. First off, Dead by Daylight is partnering with heavy metal legends
Iron Maiden! Oh my god!
On a collection built around the iconic Eddie, who, well, let's be honest, he fits
Eddie is badass.
right into our game, right? All of the cosmetics in this collection will be
Eddie.
like portraying his many album cover appearances.
So eine geile Metalband, ohne Witz.
And secondly, we're thrilled to be partnering with Slipknot
Oh
on
my
a
God.
collection that showcases many of their trademark masks. We'll be making 9 masks in
Kenn ich
total,
Odi?
paying tribute to some of the band's most iconic members over the years. Well, all 4 killers, of course.
Yes.
So yeah, as we said, it's really early for both of these collections, but we'll share more news as we get to work on them. What's next?
Yeah, I think it's a good time to talk about our community. Our community, I mean, since the beginning of Dead by Daylight,
Gerade nicht gehört, wenn du was gesagt hast.
they are super
Nee, ich
important
hab nur
for us,
gewunken.
and we were attached to put the spotlight on them on a unique store collection since a while, because you know, like we have fans all around the world who are also really talented and creative artists.
For sure.
And even if it's not the first time we showcase their work in the store, organizing
The competitions,
the
right? We
competition,
did that before.
exactly to appear in game. This year we would like to take it a step further and unifying our inspirations, passion, guidelines to build something new together.
Wow.
And the result of it is the artists from the folk collection. So I remember when we asked to our community to submit their work, and
we got
hundreds,
applications.
Plenty of amazing applications, and we had to select some of them. So I remember we selected 4 winners from Poland, US, Spain, Canada.
Oh, nice.
There is also a 5th contributor, as you know. We'll keep it for later. Featured on that collection. But we invited them to select their favorite character. It was important. And we're super lucky because we ended up with a split of 2 survivors and 2 killers. So balance was perfect.
Das sieht aber auch geil aus, ey.
And then we met and we share with them all these things they need to know to work on our outfits, like the technical constraints, the lore,
how to mix and match,
etc. Everything they needed before giving them the really precious maximum creative freedom to start their designs. And next we did this regular follow-up with them, and we achieved beautiful and functional designs, still respecting the artist's intentions, but also our needs. And yeah, it was an incredible collaboration. We have beautiful outfits, because I think like all these creativity, these ideas, their design, they brought to our game, our fresh approach to it, new eyes. So it's I'm super happy with the results. So thanks again for these artists to work on that collection was great.
That's great to hear.
Yes.
And also we have that 5th artist that we invited ourselves to be a part of the Artists from the Fall collection.
Yes.
She's an industry veteran, as you know, known for her fantastic work on like Okami, Bayonetta, the Evil Within series, and of course Ghostfire Tokyo. We're incredibly excited to have her joining us today to share a little bit about her designs. Welcome, Ikumi Nakamura.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome. Hi, I'm Ikumi Nakamura. Dead by Daylight のコミュニティの皆さん、こんにちは。よろしくお願いします。
Oh mein Gott, sie redet Japanisch. Voll schön.
Welcome, Ikumi-san.
Hi.
It's great having you here today, but before we get into the outfits you created for Dead by Daylight, we wanted to ask you first, could you share with us what draws you to horror? And like, was it something that you liked growing up? And like, what's so unique to you about creating art in this genre?
なるほど。ホラーに惹かれる理由は、私もともとお父さんが小さい頃からホラー映画とかホラーのゲームをたくさん与えられて育てられたので、正直惹かれる理由はあんまりよくわからないんです。なぜかというと、自分の体のなんか細胞の中にホラーが染み込んでて、ホラーがあると絶対見るし、ホラーの作品があるとすごい気になっていつも見ちゃうし、でもやっぱりホラーってこう掘り下げていくと結局のところ人の死とか人の生きるとかが描かれていて、非常に多様性があるジャンルだなと思って惹かれるんだと思います。
And you're creating 3 outfits for this collection, each featuring a character that really, really resonates with our Japanese fans. Could you share with us what stood out the most about each of them to you?
一人はキラーの寒山鬼ですね。で、彼は呪いの化身の鬼なので、私の住む国の日本の取り入れた呪詛の時に着る服をアウトフィットとして寒山流にデザインさせていただきました。で、リジョンのジュリーさんは彼女は
Das passt wirklich gar nicht.
学生の気持ちを持ってる女の子だと思ってるので、それは
ich finde die Maske passt zwar nicht, aber an sich das Outfit finde ich voll geil. Ist halt japanisch.
でもう一人がユイで、彼女はすごくバイクを持ってるたくましい女性だなって思って大好きなんですけれども、そんな彼女の私生活とか彼女が原宿とか行ったらどんな格好するんだろうっていうのが見たくてそれでデザインをしてみました。
Es geht ja ums Outfit.
We'd also love to learn more about the whole process and your inspiration
das ist ja dieser Stil, den sie zeichnet.
キャンドルを頭につけてるんですけど、それはプレイヤーから見たら寒山が来た 隠れなきゃって分かるような
Das ist auch
目
nice.
印にもなるし、ゲ
Das
ー
ist ja
ム
das
的な
jetzt.
意味もつけてデザインにしてます。で、もう一人のジョリーさんに関しては、もともと4人でリージョンじゃんでだから4人デザインしたらいいのかなと思って4人デザインしちゃったら1人でいいですって言われて分かりましたっつって言ってジョリーさんをデザインさせていただいて、で今80年代とか70年代のポップカルチャーが非常に世界的にも流行しているので、そこの時に生きていた学生さんといえば、ヤンキーとスケバンだと思ってそのアウトフィットを彼らにあげました。はい。で、ユイに関しては女の子のじゃないですか。だから彼女のが本当私生活できるのをすごく見たいって思ったのがまず第一で、次に彼女のその
Oh, okay, das finde ich jetzt aber nicht mehr so cool.
バイカーの衣装って
Ja, langweilig
わ
aus.
からないんですけど、実際彼女が可愛い服を着た時にどれだけこうキラーから傷つけられてる姿が見れるのかもっと見たかったんで、比較的薄着にして、彼女がキラーから逃げやすいように動きやすいようにしてスポーティーなスタイルを取り入れました。はい。
Well, thanks again for joining us today, Kumi-san. The outfits look really amazing, and we can't wait for fans around the world to enjoy them. So the artists from the Fog collection, featuring work from Ikumi Nakamura, will be available in the Dead by Daylight in-game store this summer.
Oh, one more thing. I have a last announcement.
What?
And it will be a nice piece of nostalgia for any long-time fans of Behavior. Because we have our team, our big team, and an important part of this team worked on a game a long time ago named Naughty Bear.
Oh ja, geil.
Naughty Bear. You know, this game featured a bear living in his happy community of bears, but he's going on a murderous rampage after they didn't invite him to a party. I mean, what an iconic character, super interesting, and we were attached to bring it to the game since a while, and I'm super happy because now we are finally doing it.
Players have been asking for it.
Yeah, I know, and it's coming soon this year. This year is coming.
Oh, wow.
And we will attach a cosmetic. It will be part of the Trapper cosmetics, and we will.
Oh nein!
It will be a lot of fun for players to see him. Like.
Awesome.
Das ist so dumm.
I hope you really enjoyed all this announcement.
Rennt einfach so ein riesen Teddybär dann da rum.
Outfits coming this year. And thank you.
Ja, wie
again
gesagt, also
to
diesen
Nakamura
Draw-Stil von
to be
ihr, also
here
diese
with us
Outfits
today.
habe ich jetzt
Was
gar
a
nicht
real
gefühlt.
pleasure.
Also ich fand den Draw-Stil voll toll, aber so diese Outfits sind echt, also so richtig im Spiel fand ich dann nicht mehr so toll, außer vom Oni.
To talk about the in-game celebrations for the
Ja,
second anniversary.
das Wichtige.
Thank you for
Blutpunkte,
watching.
gib her.
Bye.
Bye. Wie gezwungen die Linke gerade
Alright.
gewunken hat.
This time for real. Okay.
Cut! Matt,
Seriously?
we've talked about this.
No, but
What's so hard? We've been doing this for 5 years
But
together.
I can do it right now.
No,
It's like 2 minutes.
wait for your
Seriously.
cue.
No, but
Nein! Bleib da!
Penner, Mann.
Hey there, I'm Sarah Robinson. I'm one of the associate art directors on Dead by Daylight. I help out with a number of areas of the game, but events are definitely one of my favorites.
And I'm Gene Escalante, a senior game designer on Dead by Daylight, and I'm focused on the events. And I'm so glad that I get to be here with Sarah, as 7 years ago, when I first became a fan of DbD, she helped me get my very first tattoo, which was altruism, just 2 months after the game's release. Thank you.
No problem, happy. Okay, so Gene, there's lots to celebrate this year. And we're kicking things off early this year with a month of in-game activations leading up to the anniversary event. So tell us more about these activations.
Exactly. So each week we will be celebrating a different 2-year period of Dead by Daylight's history. So that'll include characters, maps, and mechanics that were introduced during those periods. So for example, week 1 will be featuring the Blood Hunts. Week 2 will then be doubling the Rift fragments for your Rift Pass. And in week 3, we will be inviting you, the players, to vote for a community choice event, which will occur during the Chapter 28 release. And once the anniversary event goes live, We'll be doing giveaways for previous anniversary cosmetics, including outfits and the Year 5 crowns.
Twisted Masquerade was a huge hit last year.
Cool.
And this year, we're bringing it back bigger and better than ever. But the host of the Twisted Masquerade has actually stepped out of the shadows this year and has lent their certain special kind of decorating skills to our in-game event. What can players expect to see?
Well, the host has introduced a lot of various artworks throughout various areas of the game, so you'll definitely want to check those out. And yeah, Father Campbell's Chapel has gone
geil.
complete masquerade makeover, and it looks incredible. But this host seems to have brought along some mysterious masked figures. What are these like weird ghostly spirits? Who or what are they? If you want to find out, you're going to have to take a closer look.
Speaking of masked figures, we're bringing back Masquerade Mask this year. We have 12 new masks for 12 new characters, but getting your hands on them last year was a little tricky. For killers, you had to make it through your trial, and for survivors, you had to
Fängnis ist
actually make it through the
dabei.
exit gate. So how have we improved things for this year?
Well, the invitations that came out last year, Sarah, they'll be back. But this time, invitations will be holding charges, and you'll use those charges to kind of mess with the opposition while you're in chase. So if you're a survivor, what you'll be able to do is block the window vaults so the killer can't pursue you, and you'll also be able to spawn a pallet, which can be used in an emergency, but it'll break right upon use. Killers, on the other hand, they'll be able to reduce the impact of a stun, remotely break a pallet or a breakable wall, and survivors better watch out about this one, they will be able to inflict the exposed status effect on you once they've reached a tier of bloodlust. But in order to get your cosmetic, you will need to make sure that you are holding onto at least one charge by the time that an exit opens, and that's either the exit gate or the hatch. So our players are going to have to decide what is ultimately more important to them, exhausting the charge to help them in a time of need, or getting that brand new mask.
Oh,
it's such a tough choice. But I love the players have a mechanic now where they can gain these masks without having to escape the trial. So beyond the mask, we have a number of excellent unlockable cosmetics as part of the Twisted Masquerade event tome, including 2 brand new outfits. Last year, our guests of honor were Hattie and the Dredge as part of our Roots of Dread chapter. But this year, we're highlighting 2 fan favorites, Nia and the Hillbilly.
Nein.
We have a number of playfully chaotic charms for you to collect. It's worth noting, though, that all of last year's cosmetics, masks, outfits are going to be available in the store.
Oh, der Raum ist nice.
If you missed out on anything, now's your chance to go collect them.
Exactly, and keeping track of their collections is going to be much easier this year. So the event pop-up now is multi-tabbed. So you'll be able to find a collection tab and a store tab. In the collection tab, you'll find anything that can be earned through event gameplay or through the event tome. And in the store tab, you'll be able to find anything that we want to feature that is event related. And in there, you'll be able to find the Feng Min and the Ghostface outfits, which are brand new Twisted Masquerade outfits. So be sure to check those out.
We've got one more thing coming as part of the anniversary event, don't we, Jean? This year, we're debuting a new kind of challenge condition, random perks. This is exactly what it sounds like. You roll the proverbial dice, and your loadout is equipped with those random perks.
That's geil.
This is a condition you might see on challenges that ask you to heal a survivor or down a survivor, for example. And last but not least, we're bringing back community challenges. So this is a great time for the whole community to get together, to work together and unlock additional rewards.
Exactly, Sarah. And we will be there, ready to support you guys through those community challenges. So make sure to stay tuned, and don't forget that the road to anniversary content starts today.
Oh my God.
And that is a wrap on the 7th anniversary show for Dead by Daylight and another year of content reveals. Thank you so much for joining us and spending your day with us here. It's been as exciting as I hoped it would be. I hope you've enjoyed it. And don't forget that the PTB for End transmission is live right now. So if you're on PC, you can jump over and start testing out things that were just revealed in the show today. which is pretty special. So thanks once again to our dev team back in the
Eric,
studio.
wait.
Thanks. Oh, right.
I have one last thing, seriously, before we
Please.
finish. I know we had some great reveals today, but I have one last thing that I'm super thrilled to talk about. We are welcoming into the fog this year someone, I mean, it's a brand new survivor, like we've never done before. He's an amazing actor with a career that spans decades.
Yeah.
He's done everything, all the greatest movies you've ever seen. He's been in the horror world for a while with cult classics to cosmic horror. He will be joining the fog this summer. We are so excited to have him with us.
There's nothing more powerful than imagination.
Imagination.
It can shape the fabric of reality, transforming everything you may think you know.
Alter, geil.
Ich mag die ganzen Filme, in denen er mitgespielt hat, ne. Zumindest von denen, wo ich weiß jetzt mittlerweile.
Ja, das war's, ne? Alter.
Alter.
Es gibt so viele geile neue Sachen. Und Junge, ich bin so unglaublich froh, dass sie das jetzt endlich fixen wollen mit dem Campen. Wobei ich glaube, wenn sie es versuchen, glaube ich trotzdem, dass sie da trotzdem einfach abwarten werden und nicht abtunneln. Aber ja, das ist immerhin schon mal ein guter Start und ich bin sehr froh, dass die endlich dran arbeiten.
Das geht ja mal in die richtige Richtung wenigstens. Also,
Ja.
das ist auf jeden Fall eine coole Neuerung und halt dieses DLC. Ich fand, das war das erste DLC jetzt seit wirklich langer Zeit, wo ich sage, das wirkt mal ein bisschen interessant. Das ist
Ja.
mal was anderes. So, genau.
Das Vieh, wie das hinter dir herrennt, da habe ich jetzt schon Angst. Ich finde das total geil. Und ich freue mich so unglaublich auf das Spiel, was rauskommen wird, was die planen.
Ja, das Story-Game.
Ja, oh, habe ich richtig Bock drauf.
Ah!
Alter,
Das war heftig.
das war echt krass. Also generell, was die jetzt alles gesagt haben. Ich habe, wie gesagt, so ein Video noch nie geguckt. Aber ich war jetzt echt glücklich, dass ich das mal gemacht habe mit dir. Das war ja richtig cool. Junge, Junge. Und was die alles rausbringen, oh, da wirst du ja ewig nie fertig.
Das ist echt krass.
Alter Schwede. Junge.
Ja, wir lassen uns einfach mal überraschen, was jetzt von dem, was ihr so erzählt habt, wirklich so rauskommt. Das ist ja direkt wieder das nächste. Die machen erstmal DbD, dann kann ihr doch rumheulen und dann machen sie es nochmal anders. Ja, das ist ja auch immer so eine Sache. Aber ich sag mal so, lieber so, als wenn man total auf seine Community scheißt. Ne?
Ja, also es wäre wenigstens schön zu wissen, dass sie sich dann die Kommentare auch durchlesen, die wir schreiben.
Und, was ich auch cool fand, dass du jetzt benachrichtigt wirst, wenn du jemanden reportet hast und was gegen dich unternommen wurde.
Und dass sie
fand ich
jetzt
auch
halt die Bots reinbringen, wenn du halt disconnectest. Das finde ich
Ja.
nice.
Also,
Also,
Lisa, können wir öfters disconnecten, ist jetzt nicht mehr so schlimm.
ich wollte gerade sagen, wir rage quitten ja auch manchmal, aber dann sind wir wenigstens eher am Arsch, wenn da mal uns jemand verlässt.
Genau.
Das ist nice. Ich habe jetzt auch richtig Bock auf DbD wieder bekommen.
Ich auch und wir werden jetzt nämlich DbD aufnehmen. Wir sehen uns im nächsten Video. Bis zum nächsten
Ciao.
Mal. Tschüss.